So what we got to understand is going viral is 1% out of all the 7 billion people that are in the world. Only 1%. What is 1% of 7 billion? Only 1% of people actually go viral. So all y'all thinking that, oh, little such and such went viral. He told his story how he went viral off doing this. And boom, you try to do that? Hey, why you don't go viral? I'm not saying don't do that, but why you don't go viral? Because that's only one piece of the pie. Okay? I keep trying to explain this to people. We're not pushing out enough content. We're not taking content creation, music, becoming an artist, becoming an actor, becoming a model, having your own business, stop working a 9-to-5. We're not taking this stuff seriously. So if you want to go viral, as I said before, you have to learn how to stand out. You have to learn how to stand out above the competition. Stop doing what everybody else is doing, because if you keep doing what everybody else is doing, you're going to continue to get the same result that everybody else is getting. They are the 99%. Does that make sense? Why are you following other people that are not viral? Oh yeah, look, such and such went viral. Man, look here. You got to understand that a lot of those videos that y'all watch about, hey, this person went viral, this is how I went viral or whatever, they're only telling you a portion of the story. A lot of this stuff is just for entertainment, just for content. So they're telling you a portion of the story, but what is the rest of the story that they're not telling you? Normally, they charge for those, they hold courses where they charge to give you the rest of the game. They're only giving you a certain bit of information. And if you are trying to go viral, you have to keep that in mind. We're not researching, we're not studying, all we're doing is putting out content like everybody else. This is why I study. This is why I study the big names. This is why I study the big, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're watching what an artist is doing, the artist is only one piece of the pie, ladies and gentlemen. The artist is not the record label. You need to be studying the record label, because the record label is the ones that made the artist go viral. You understand what I'm saying? The record label is the one you need to be studying, not the artist. Why are you studying the artist? The artist is an entertainer. The artist is a content creator. You need to study the money machine. You need to study the people who have all the analytics. That's the record label. That's Hollywood. The big dogs. Don't study the artist, study the CEO. Don't study the workers, study the executives. The ones that we don't see. These are the ones you need to dig up and find out who they are and study them. If you are the 1%, Spotify, for example, okay, 90% of the revenue on these streaming platforms like Spotify, 90% of the streams go to the top 1% of artists. That's not you. You are in the 99%. You will always be in the 99% unless you start taking this way more serious than what you are. I done tried to help so many people. I've tried to tell so many people, and every year they keep getting the same result. Why do they keep getting the same result? Because they're not listening to me. My information has no value to them because I'm giving it for free. But when you are at my caliber of expertise or knowledge or wisdom, you kind of, when you know your value, when you know your worth, when you know your level of information, you kind of, it gets frustrating giving out information for free. Okay? Because you can write down a list of 365 ways or 365 things that somebody needs to do to be able to go viral, right? And they will not pay attention to all 365 things. They might choose 1 or 2 or 3 things off that list, you know, and that's cool to start with. But when you take those 3 things out of the 365 or out of the 100 things or the 30 things that was on that paper, and you only take 2 or 3 things off that list, a year goes by, you might have got a little more momentum, but you're still not where you want to be. You got to go right back to the list, but now you probably don't even know what a list is. So now you probably come back asking that same person, hey man, what was that list you gave me? Man, I don't know. I don't know where that list is. That's why I gave it to you, so you could have it. You know? Because I'm at a different point or at a different level in my life where I don't need to look at that list. I got that stuff in my head. But the way that I have that stuff in my head is not like I can remember it word for word and line for line. I just know I need to do A, B, C and don't do this. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. Just those words right there. If those words right there, only 1% of musicians and celebrities and models and business, only 1% go viral. You think about how many people have went viral, and then you look at the 7 billion people in the world. Those are the 99%. So if that doesn't motivate you, if you hearing the word, if you hearing that you are the 1% and only 1%, I mean, you are the 99% and only 1% go viral. If that doesn't motivate you to go 99% harder than what you've been doing, then either you not getting what I'm saying, or you just don't have it in you. And I'm not saying it in a negative way, because you can get that. But what I'm saying is, if those words don't make you say, wow, if those words don't make you think, if those words don't make a light bulb click on, right? And forgive me, if those words are not making a light bulb click on, please go look up what I just said. Ask your phone, what is the percentage of people that go viral? Ask your phone it. Because when you see the answer or the result that pops up, it's going to blow your mind. But a lot of us don't believe that. We don't believe that. How could it only be 1%? Because we see so much stuff pop in our feed, what it looks like it's so many people that are viral. Those are the 1%. You're not seeing it's millions of people that do not post on social media. Millions of people that do not post on social media. So just because you're seeing post after post after post, we're like, man, this person went viral. Man, you know how many people I see on Facebook that said they are content creators and ain't went nowhere. Everybody's a content creator now. You pushed out 3 pieces of content. You pushed out 10 pieces of content. You pushed out 15 pieces of content, and you a content creator. And for the ones that are posting, you know, several times a week or whatever, they still ain't went viral. Are y'all not doing the research? Facebook is tricking y'all. I hate to say it. That's why I got off of there. I stopped posting content on Facebook and Instagram. They owned by the same people. It's a joke. Now, don't get me wrong. My first paycheck did come from Instagram. Instagram paid me $236 or something like that. But here's the kick. Instagram was not paying me for my content. Like whenever I would post my music and my content and stuff using my stuff, it would get regular old 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 views. Okay. But what was happening was they were basically paying me for reposting other content creators that were already viral. How's that helping me? Yeah, you giving me a little piece of change, but you're just helping me basically advertise somebody else's brand. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense to me if I'm trying to build my brand. So if I'm trying to build my brand, why would I be promoting somebody else's brand as the main attraction? You know, like, why would I be, when I say main attraction, I mean, why would I be 90% of the time posting somebody else's stuff? That's backwards. 90% of the time my content should be being pushed out, and maybe 10% of the time I should be posting. 1% of the time I should be posting other people's stuff. But Instagram, what they were doing is because I would post some of my content, and then boom, I would remix other people's content. Like basically, I go on somebody else's page, and they have a remix button where you can remix and you can like make a video on the side of their video and talk about, oh, I like what they did, and like that type of stuff. Why do I want to go viral for reposting somebody else's stuff? Because once I blow up, now some of y'all might think, well, if you blow up, then your page will blow up and everything on your page. Yeah, there is a possibility of that. But if you look at the numbers up front, you got to do a lot of work for that to happen. If you look at the numbers up front, what's happening is, if you got 1,000 views on your page, who's getting that 1,000 views? The original creator. So it's like you're just boosting. They're kind of using you as a hub. It's basically like Instagram is saying, hey, we will pay you $20 to repost this person's content in front of your fans, in front of your subscribers, right? And like I say, man, that is one way of going viral, because if you're smart about it and you have 90% of the content, now that's how I had it. 90% of what I was posting on my page was about me and my content. But because I'm not a full-time musician, it was hard to keep up with that. You know what I'm saying? And Instagram and these platforms, they want you to post every day, so many times a day. That is how you're gonna trend. And you also have to remember that when you subscribe to somebody on Facebook or whatever it is, Facebook, what they do is they don't turn on all notifications. Really, no platform does, because they don't know how much you want to be bugged, how much the subscriber wants to be bugged. But I don't know why they don't turn that on. Or why when they hit subscribe, a notification doesn't pop up and say, do you want all, recommended, or none of them? Like, it should be a thing that pops up and give the person the option. Because some people don't know that's an option. When they hit subscribe, they thinking they're going to see all your videos or follow or whatever. But if you click on that little, when you hit follow or subscribe, you can click on as another button, and it will open up a menu where you can basically put how often you want to see this person's posts. And by default, they don't have it where you see every post. So what I'm saying is, as you as a creator, you can't post one video every blue moon or one video every month or whatever, and you wonder why it ain't, I gotta share this with all my friends for it to go. No, you need to be posting more content. Because if you post one video, not all of your subscribers see that. I don't care if you got 100 subscribers. Your 100 subscribers are not gonna see that video. You got to pressure bust pipes, man. You got to push through the noise. You are in competition with millions and billions of people. You are in competition. So how do you stand out? That's one way you can stand out. One way you can stand out is about pushing out more content. Pushing out more content. And how do you push out more content? A lot of y'all that want to be musicians, you don't do enough music every day to push out enough music content every day. There's nothing wrong with you having your music content, but you also have to put something meantime in between time. You got to be putting content out every day, which is difficult. It's a competition. How bad do you want to win the race? Think of yourself, if you want that fit body. How often do you go to the gym? You go to the gym every day. You go to the gym every day. You don't miss days and expect the best body. You go to the gym every day. So why would you, if you're a content creator trying to go viral, if you're a fitness person trying to get that viral body, you go every day. And when you go every day, you don't just do one workout. You do several different workouts, several different sessions. So think of that as when you posting videos on YouTube. You're not just posting one video a day. You're posting several sessions, several videos, several different workouts. Oh, look, I'm finna do leg. Now, some of y'all might do leg day, where you have a day where you just do legs. But in that leg day, you're not just doing one video. You're gonna have several sessions. And this is what we're not understanding. We're not treating content creation like we treat everything else. How many episodes do you watch when you go home and watch after work and watch on TV? You don't just watch one episode. And even if you do watch just one episode, that one episode is how long? 30 minutes. So if you're watching one episode and that one episode is 30 minutes, if you're a content creator, you need to be examining that, analyzing that. Are you putting your 30-minute video out there on YouTube? Most of us are not. But most people that consume content are not watching just 30 minutes of television or 30 minutes of content. We're watching hours and hours and hours of content. Probably 3 to 6 hours a day of content. So that's what you need to be putting out as a creator, 3 to 6 hours of content. If one video is 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, how many videos do you need to put out to be able to push out 3 hours to 6 hours of content? Come on, y'all know the math. Y'all graduated high school, most of y'all. Some of y'all might still be in high school, I don't know. But most of y'all have graduated high school. Most of y'all that watch my page. Because y'all in y'all 30s. Late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, late 20s, 30s, and mid 40s, early 40s. So, you know, 40s is the I would say if you can go viral in your 20s, if you can have an open ear and go viral in your 20s, hey, you have beat the odds. But for a lot of us, it don't happen because we're not that focused on it. We still want to turn up and have fun. So a lot of us we don't start really thinking until our 30s. Okay, so in our 30s is when we start having the mindset of, okay, maybe I should start taking this a little bit more serious, because I thought I could just play around with it and nothing still happened. So in our 30s, we typically start developing this late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s. We start kind of having this strategic kind of mindset, right? We start getting to our late 30s. Now our mindset is like, dang, I still didn't go viral. So now we're kind of blocking everything out and just going all in for us. You know what I'm saying? Because people are not going to be as determined as you are. People are not going to want it as bad as you do. People are not going to go get it, you know what I'm saying, like you would. You feel me? So just, I mean, I don't know how else to wake people up. If you putting out 10 videos a year and you like, man, I ain't went viral yet. You put out 20 videos, 30 videos, and you like, man, I ain't went viral yet. You're not putting out no content. I know so many people like this. They be like, man, my subscriber count ain't going up. You ain't put out enough content. But when I try to explain these things to people, just because you got 100 subscribers doesn't mean your 100 subscribers, or if you got whatever it is, however many subscribers, 500 subscribers, all of those subscribers are not seeing that content. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to do the research. I've given y'all the tools. I've given y'all the information. I don't know everything, but I got over 1,000 videos on my YouTube page. I have over 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube page. Subscribers don't matter though. Remember I said that. So if the problem is y'all are looking at an old metric. Y'all are focused on subscribers when your subscribers don't even see, most of your subscribers don't even see your video. Let's just say 1% of your subscribers actually see your videos. Every time you post a video, 1% of your subscribers sees that video. So how do you make that 1% rise to 100? You post 100 videos in that time frame. I'm just throwing out scenario. I'm saying if one video is that's going to 1%, how do you reach 2%? Post another video. That means, what I'm saying is, that means you're gonna reach another 1% of your subscribers. You'll post a third video. Now you just hit another 1%. You just hit 3%. You see what I'm saying? So if you post 100 videos, you've hit 100% by 1% increments. But what y'all also got to understand is YouTube works in a 365 cycle, a 365-day cycle. So the videos you posted 366 days ago, they do not count toward the YouTube monetization partnership program. So I'm trying to go harder than that. I'm trying to reach my numbers before a 365 day cycle is up. My focus is more on how can I go viral in a month, not a whole year, A whole year is still always gonna be the goal. But some of y'all don't even have 365 days as y'all's goal. Y'all just posting randomly. And you in a year, how many, ask yourself that. How many videos do you post in a year? I think that little moped that went by probably went by faster than y'all posting videos. Like, how many? How many? If we are the 99%. Every day I think about stuff like this. If I'm the 99%, how can I get to the 1%? But like I said, just knowing that information should a light bulb should come on in your head. Not saying you got the answer, but that should strike a thought or a light bulb or a brain cell, a couple of brain cells in your head. Most of us, our brain cells, we kill our brain cells off. That's why we can't really think logical on our own. We have to see somebody else do something. Then we're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, because it's working for them. We don't know how to think logically on our own. We don't know how to do that. We don't know how to think logically on our own. We don't know how to come up with stuff on our own. We don't know how to analyze things on our own. I've only dated, well, I can't say I've only dated one woman, but I have dated one woman that had crazy logic. She had a master's degree, but her logic, like she could come up with stuff out of nothing. Like one time she was talking about how she was like, I'm gonna do this fundraiser, right? And I guess this came from her going to school. She said, I'm gonna do this fundraiser. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, you're gonna do this fundraiser. That's a good idea. How are you gonna get people to just pitch in money? And she started explaining the details of how she was gonna do this fundraiser. And I was like, man, like that is crazy that you just came up with that but her mind just thinks like that. Some people just don't have it. That don't mean you can't go get it. But for those of us that don't have it, go take some courses. But y'all don't want to spend money on courses. Y'all don't want to go. There's free research out there on YouTube, but y'all don't want to go look it up on YouTube. There's free research out there on Google, but y'all don't want to type it up on y'all phones to look it up. But I bet y'all typing up that podcast. I mean, them episodes y'all watching, them TV shows. I mean, that's cool. Everybody's way of learning is different. So if you learn by looking at TV shows, then look at some educational TV shows, not entertainment. I'm just saying, if you somebody that's trying to go viral and trying to make stuff happen, I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. I can take you to the water, but I can't make you drink. I can present the answers, but I can't make you watch this video. I can call you on the phone and try to have a real conversation with you about this same stuff. Do you know how many people be like, man, you talk too much? That's fine. But when you don't get nowhere in life, don't come asking me for the answer. Because right now I have the answer and I'm presenting it to you and you ain't trying to hear it. That's cool. But when you need the answer, don't come to me. Because I'm giving you the answer right now. This is why I started posting stuff on my YouTube page, because I had so many. I want to help people, first of all. But second of all, I had so many people that would call me one-on-one or hit me up one-on-one some kind of way. Text me or message me on social media or whatever. Or in the comment section say, hey man, how you? And it's like, I get the same questions from hundreds of people. So it's like, if 10 of y'all are asking the same question, if 15 of y'all, 20, 30 of y'all asking the same question, and then 30 other people are asking the same question, it's exhausting for me. So for me to answer everybody's, to reply to everybody's answer, or look up everybody's answer, or give everybody that answer one by one, I'm overworking myself. So what I can do is I can kill, or I can reach, let me not say kill, I was gonna say kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but I can reach 30 people with 1 post. Does that make sense? So now I'm not working. Instead of me saying something over and over and over 30 times till I'm blue in the face and I'm steaming out my ears, and then people wondering, dang, why he be getting like that? It's like, bro, because I've repeated this so many times and y'all still don't get it. But if I say it one time, it's less steam coming out my ears. It's still steam, but it's way less steam coming out my ears. Because now I can say it one time, boom. And that one time can reach 10 people, 3 people, 15 people, 30 people, 50 people, 1,000 people. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm getting rewarded for my work. Because if I get 1,000 YouTube views by helping you, I'm good. I'm being rewarded for my work. But if you call me on the phone and you asking me this same question, or you know what I'm saying, somebody hit me in the comment section and they asking me this same question, it's more effort for me to try to type everything that's in my head, for me to try to type all that fast enough to put it in the comment. And then by the time I put so much, because I know so much, by the time I put so much in a comment, the comment is so long you don't even want to read it. Ladies and gentlemen, we will consume 31-minute videos or 15 second, videos before we will consume an hour-long podcast. When that hour-long podcast probably could have, 30-minute podcast or whatever, or documentary could have gave you 10 pieces of information. You see what I'm saying? We want to be in, we like stuff in an entertainment form, because our attention span is short. Our attention span is short, man. I can't help people that don't want to help themselves. We're so stuck with consuming content in the format or the way that the top 1% is presenting it to us. We fall for whatever the top 1%, because the top 1% make it look so good. The music you hear on the radio, top 1%. The shows you see on TV, top 1%. You understand what I'm saying? So when somebody like me or like you, who's in the 99%, puts out content, they're like, who is this? They are of no value. But I could be giving you all the value in the world. But because you see me as not valuable, because you see me as one of the 99, you're not going to listen. So right now, I'm actually not in the 99%, but I still look at myself as the 99%. Because I'm fighting for one or the other. Right? 99 is not enough for me. 33% is not enough for me. That's a hand clap, that's a congratulations. But if the top 1% are the only ones that are making the revenue, why would I settle for 10% or 1%? I mean, why would I settle for 10% or 50% or 33% or 66% or 99%? They're not making no money. They're not making no money, ladies and gentlemen. So my focus is to be higher. Listen to my words. Higher than the top 1%. Because that 1% that we are saying is the ones that are going viral. 1% might be viral, but you still got to look at what is the top of virality. So if 1%, if either you understand or you don't. If you don't go, listen, if you don't go viral until you hit 1%, not everybody that goes viral makes the same amount of money. Okay, there's some people that have went viral, but they still in a low bracket. They still might only make, $1,000 a month. I mean, yeah, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. But there's some people that go viral that make millions a month. Do you see what I'm saying? So if 1% is the bottom of reaching virality or going viral, why would I want to be at the bottom? That's the bottom 1%. The top 1% is the bottom of virality. Are y'all catching me? Are y'all catching me? The top 1%, we are in the 99%, but the top 1% are those who have went viral. But in the top 1%, you still have tiers. So you gotta, once you reach the top 1%, you have to stretch it out and open it up and zoom in and focus in on that 1%. And when you look at that 1%, you're like, dang. So really, the ones who are making the big money, the ones who making the millions every month and every year, are like the 0.01%, the 0.001%. That's where I'm trying to be at, baby. If I make it to the 1%, I'm happy. But now I've only got my foot in the door. My foot is in the door now. So nobody comes to a house and put their foot in the door and say, I made it. And you just stand in the doorway with your foot in the door. No. If you made it to the door and you got your foot in the door, now it's time to go in and make it even. Now you're like, I finally made it to paradise. Man, I'm finna go over there and get some marshmallows. They got drinks over there. Look, he got I'm finna network with him. You see what I'm saying? They got arts and crafts over here. I'm finna make me my own t-shirts. You see what I'm saying? You don't just get there and stand in the doorway and like, yeah. Oh, this is good. I feel the AC breeze. Girl, I smell the barbecue. And you just stand there with your foot in the door. Because your foot in the door, they paying you $1,000 a month just for your foot to be in the door. If that don't make sense, you might be on the wrong channel. Because I might not ever make sense to you. You might be on the wrong channel. But I'ma say, whatever your dreams and goals and passion, whatever your dream business is, just remember you are in the 99%. T.I. and all these artists that have gone viral have made it to the top 1%. And now T.I., is above the 1%. That's because he didn't just put his foot in the door like a lot of these artists do. A lot of these artists get their foot in the door, be like, yeah, I got a deal. You see them throwing this money around and all the gold jewelry and cars, and you don't hear from them no more. They done went bankrupt. That's what I'm saying. Some people get their foot in the door and they don't go nowhere else. They be like, they got their foot in the door, man, I got a deal. And then they don't go nowhere else. You have to strategize. You have to go in with a plan. And that's why being on the bottom for so long, being in the 99% for so long, you have enough time to think of a plan. So that when your foot finally gets in the door, when you wake up overnight and you got 10,000 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers or whatever it is, when you start going viral overnight in your sleep, okay, that should be your moment to stop playing games. It's a lot of people that I done seen go viral, and they don't have a plan. They're like, oh man, I done went viral. I don't know what video to post. You've reached the moment that we all trying to get to. Ladies and gentlemen, you've reached the moment that we've all been trying to get to. How do you reach virality? How do you reach virality? And then stop. Or then walk around like a chicken with your head cut off with a question mark over your head. How do you reach that point in life? Because what people don't understand is the hardest part is getting through the 99. Because there's so many people pushing out mediocre content. Once you get past all of them, it gets people. I just learned this today. It gets easier the further up you climb up the ladder, because there's less people fighting against you. The bottom, it's so many people at the bottom. In the 99%, the one is there's not a lot of people at the top 1%. So it's not a lot of people fighting with you or battling with you. It's very few. But the 99%, there is so many people pushing out content, so many people making music. Look up on your phone how many songs are made every day. So when you put your song out, you're in competition. How do you stand out above all that other music? If you are in a room, a crowd, let's say you walking through somewhere and you're in a crowd of 99 people, and everybody's trying to get over there to that, whatever that is over there, right? Or everybody's trying to get to, it might not even be just one. It might be, let's say it's like the top 1% are like, let's say, 5 different stations, right? If you got 5 different stations, let's say like a pyramid, not a pyramid, but a octagon or whatever, or a hexagon. If you got, you know what I'm saying, 5, 6, 7, whatever people or stations, and if you reach one of them stations, right, the 99 or the 999 people are in red. And then you got these blue lights on each station, and everybody trying to get to a station. But you got to fight through all these people. You understand what I'm saying? That are trying to get their content up. Like, how do you maneuver? Like trying to fight through all this, walk through all these people and get to your destination. And most people never reach the destination. Some people can't see the destination because it's too far. Some people don't do research, so they don't even know which way the destination is. You got to research on your phone. Which way to my destination? But a lot of y'all, even if you put that in your phone don't even know what's the destination you're trying to go to. You trying to be a musician? You trying to be a model? You trying to be an actor? You trying to start your own business? Where we going? If you don't know where you're going, how does anybody else know where you're going? This is why it's important to have conversations with God. Every day. Every day. So you might not be able to see your destination. But I tell you one thing. One thing is God gives you a spirit. God gives you it's kind of like it's almost kind of like a feeling. Like you know how like you just know this is what God is telling you, right? And because some of us just go off what we want. That's a difference. What you want is different than I know God is telling. Some people just, they know God ain't telling them stuff. They just do it because that's what they want. But when you know that God is telling you something, you just know it. It could be 10 years from now. Like the same stuff that God was telling me 10 years ago, it's still the same thing that God is telling me today. That ain't changed. That ain't went nowhere. Now it's up to me to sleep on that or pursue that. It's up to me to let people get in the way of that. You feel me? Or push people out the way and keep pursuing that. There's a saying that goes something like, when God called you or when God told you whatever he told you, it wasn't a conference call. When God gave you that dream, that vision, it wasn't a conference call. He wouldn't tell it to nobody but you, because he tells each and everybody their own dreams, their own direction, their own path in life. We're not all going to the same place. You might be going to the grocery store. I might be going to the beach. You see what I'm saying? Everybody going somewhere different right now. If we was all going to the same place, then who would work over there? Who would go over there? Who would do this? Who would do that? So each of us are going to our own destination for a certain purpose. That don't mean you're going to stay there and get stuck there. But that means, okay, God said go from here to here. You got to go over there. Boom. You might be picking up some notebooks. I got to go pick up these notebooks from Walmart. That's the destination today. And after I go pick up them notebooks and pens, I got to head over here to the studio. You feel me? Not everybody is doing that path. Along the way, you might have stopped at Chick-fil-A. You might have had to stop and get you some soda. Not everybody has the same destination. So don't let nobody tell you that that's not what God is telling you. You feel me? Because they don't know what God is telling you. They only know what God is telling them. And they're trying to convince you, because they sleeping on their own dreams. They're trying to convince you that whatever God told them is what they should be telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why people sleep on their dreams and never go nowhere in life. Because you sitting up listening to somebody that's so positive about something that God told them, but God told them that. He didn't tell you that. He told them that. But they don't want to act on whatever it is God told them. So now they know they have a vision or something, and they know that somebody needs to be doing it. What they fail to realize is that somebody is them. So they try to force that on you because they know they're not going to never achieve that business or whatever that is. It's nothing wrong with listening to their story, but a lot of times people like that don't tell it as a story. They tell it as if they are God and they're giving you godly information when that information was intended for them. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with taking that information, listening to that example. You might help you along the way. You might be going in that direction. I don't know. Only you know. But the whole point is for you to tap into God. That's why it's a saturated market. It's why it's so easy for me to stand out. Okay? Why is it so easy for me to stand out? Because I'm going to always be unique and genuine and true to myself. Who I've always been. What God is telling me to be. I don't change with the trends. I examine the trends. I research the trends. And if there's anything that I can use for my good, I'm going to use it. But for the most part, I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane. Like, for example, the dance challenges and stuff like that, right? So like when it comes to like the dance challenges and stuff like that, a lot of people wanted to jump on that train, on that bandwagon, like, okay, the dances are going viral, so let's do the dances. And it's a saturated market, but that might not be what God is telling you to do. So if you try to go dance and your heart is not in that, you're like, oh, well, the only way to go viral is to do dances. And you start putting out dances and you are not, that's not what's in you. That's not what God put in you. It ain't gonna work for you. You might do it for a little while, but you're gonna get exhausted because you're gonna be like, man, like I'm not going viral, and you're gonna give up. That wasn't in you. I'm not saying don't do dances, but what I am saying is you have to be unique and you have to be genuine. You have to be real with yourself. So whatever your character is, whatever your personality is, you have to take that and mix it with whatever is trending. If that makes sense. I don't know how it wouldn't, but so I don't know, man. I see so many people that are tired of being the 99% and not reaching the 1% virality. But if you're not strategic and don't have a drive and a determination to work while you are in the 99, you don't deserve to be on the top 1%, because when you get to the top 1%, you're not going to do anything. And that's going to backfire on you. It's like hitting the lotto and then just blowing the money. What was the point? But if you are strategic and you have a plan, God, when I hit that money, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. Some people just want to hit money just to have money. I want to go on a shopping spree. I want to go on vacation. I want to do this. I'm not saying we all don't deserve that. It's a tough life out here. But if you hit the lotto and you're not strategic with your money, you don't have a plan, you will more than likely spend all of that money before your time is up on this earth. And you will spend your last years in misery and agony and pain and regret. But if you got a plan and you're strategic and you done your research, you can make that money stretch. Not only can you make it stretch, ladies and gentlemen, but you can make it multiply. And that's what I'm on. If you look at my YouTube page, y'all probably don't know it because it's not perfect, but you look at my YouTube page compared to other creators or other beginners, my page has a certain structure to it. You may not realize it or not, but you can tell it's something different about my page. And I have other things in place: filming, music, teaching people how to be their own, how to go viral on their own independently. You know what I'm saying? Like be their own record label and boss and stuff like that. So because I have all of these things on my YouTube page, if one thing goes viral, or if my YouTube page starts going viral, for example, like basically, everything will be a domino effect. Okay. So everything will be a domino effect. And that will help me with my other things that I have going on. So that is what you want to do as an artist. As an artist, you want to make sure that you're not just being an artist, but you're doing, because an artist only makes like 3% of what they're worth. So why would you just want to be an artist? An actor only makes a certain percentage. I don't know what that number is, 50%, 15%, 8%. I don't know. Whatever that number is of what they're worth, right? So that's why you have to learn how to do more things on your own. You can't just be an artist. You can't just be a content creator. You have to bring more to the table than just, oh, look at me do my dance. Oh, listen to my music. Like, you got to bring more to it than that. What are you doing for the people? How are you standing out above the 99%? How are you competing in the top 1%? How are you competing with the top 1%? Ladies and gentlemen, when you finally get to the top 1%, you've made it. But now you got to compete with some of the best of the best of the best. Ladies and gentlemen, the 99, that wasn't no competition. The only competition in the 99 was it was so many of them. The 99 wasn't pushing out content quality. The 99% wasn't pushing out, they wasn't being consistent. So it's easy to get through the 99. It's just a lot of them. When you get to the top 1%, your mindset has to change. That's why if you had a plan from the beginning, you would have already had that in. That's why some people focus on quality, some people focus on quantity. I've always focused on quality. But one thing I've learned along the way, because quality was quality music, quality food, quality products, quality, you know what I'm saying? Anything that's quality, people are going to come back for. But when you're in a saturated market, how do you get your quality to be noticed? You have to produce quantity. So one thing I've noticed in this journey, in my 99 battling with the 99%, one thing I've noticed, one thing I've learned in this journey is the way to peak your head out of the noise is to put out quantity. So you want to have a balance of both. And ladies and gentlemen, I can honestly say that you actually have to put out 99% of quantity to get people to see your 1% quality. That probably don't make sense to a lot of people. Let me try to break it down. I got over 1,000 videos on my page. 99% of those videos are probably telephone quality, probably mediocre quality. Let's just call it that, okay? There's 1% of my videos on my page that are top quality. These are the videos I'm trying to get people to see. My music is the 1%. I don't have a lot of music on my page. There's probably 1% of music on my page. But this is what I'm trying to get people to see. I have courses. That's probably 1% of the content that's on my page. This is what I'm trying to get people to. The courses, the music, the services that I offer, the filming, helping you all with content and how to. I'm trying to get y'all eyes on that stuff. But how do I get your eyes on that stuff? I have to post a lot of quantity to break through the noise, to break through the crowd. I hope that helps somebody. Remember, it's harder to get through the 99%. And the further you go up the ladder toward the 1%, it gets easier only because there's less people to battle with. The only thing, there's a shift change. Now you're not pushing out quantity, but you're pushing out quality. So you still want to push out quantity compared to what your other people in the top market are pushing. But I'm telling you, at the top, quality is where it counts. At the bottom, quantity is what counts. So if you're somebody that's like, oh man, I don't have the right camera, I don't have the right light, I don't have the right this, I don't have that, that's cool. I would encourage you to get the right light or whatever. But don't let that stop you. Go ahead and press record and put that content out there. Cause them first 100 videos, them first couple of 100 videos, them first, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be a lot of people watching them videos. So when you finally get, you're gonna learn along that journey. When you finally get to a point where you're like, man, I'm actually getting better with when you start looking at your old videos, you're like, man, that was a horrible video. You know you're getting better. That's the point of posting content. Get better with every upload. And for all my beginners out there, man, if you ain't got 100 videos on your page, get 100 videos on your page, man. Let that be your first assignment. Get 100 videos on your page. And when you get 100 videos on your page, go for your 200, then your 300, then your 400, then you keep going. But also, it's gonna get tough. You're gonna start to get burnt out. But one thing I'm gonna say is, when you get to that point, after you push out that first 100 videos, and you're striving for that next 200 videos or whatever, celebrate the small victories. Celebrate the 5s and the 10s. Okay, now I'm at 105 videos. Okay, now I'm at 110 videos. Now I'm at 120. Now I'm at 100. Celebrate the small numbers, the 50s and the 25s, and celebrate the 5s. You're going to have to. Celebrate the 1s. But you're going to have to celebrate those 5s and 10s especially. I'm telling you from experience. I think from my first 100 videos, it was a task. It was kind of scary. I didn't think I thought it was gonna be hard to reach it, but boom! Before I knew it, I had already hit it, because I was dedicated. I was determined. Boom! I hit 100 videos. I'm like, okay, now what? And I just kept going. I just told myself, okay, let me do 200. You know, and with every 100, with every level, with every tier, you're gonna learn something. I didn't start learning until I'm at over 1,000 videos on my YouTube page. I didn't start really learning till now. Hopefully you learn sooner, but we're talking about, I didn't actually record 1,000 videos. YouTube has this feature called Remix, where I can post one, and I tell people to do this all the time, but people don't listen. I can post one long video. Let's say, for example, a video is 15 minutes long, or 10 minutes long, or 30 minutes long. I can post one long video. If I post one video that's 15 minutes, if I post one video that's 15 minutes long, I can cut that up into 15 YouTube shorts that are 1 minute long. So what I'm saying is, me recording one 15-minute video, I really just made like 16 videos. Because now I can make 16 YouTube shorts. They're all 1 minute increments, right? And then I have the long original video that I made. So that's 16 videos. But the way that YouTube does it is they break it down into, YouTube shorts are by default 15 seconds. So that's times 4. So instead of it being 15 videos, 16 videos, you're talking about 30, like 60, 64 videos, something like that. 60 to 64 videos off of recording one video. You see what I'm saying? So you can change a YouTube short if you want to be 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or a minute. I like doing the 1 minute, but if you have shorter videos, like if your video is only 10 minutes long, you can get more shorts out of doing the 15-second increments. So there's that. I just want to encourage y'all, man, to, like, if you're going to do this, then do it. If you want to get monetized, then you can't play with this. I know so many people that say, oh yeah, I want to be monetized. And then when I try to give them information, they don't want to listen to me. They don't want to sit up and listen to me go on and on and on. It's like, okay, cool. You know, it's like they want you to tell them everything that you know in like a minute. It's like, you're not serious about this. Your time is elsewhere. Your mindset is otherwise. You would rather sit up and watch TV or go hang out with your friends, to go spend time with your family. That's cool. But when you don't go viral, because nobody like that is going to go viral on YouTube. When you don't go viral, don't come blaming me. When you don't go viral, and I done finally went viral, now I don't have the time, or now I'm charging, do not come to me and say, hey, man, remember that free information you were trying to give me, man? Hey, man, can I what's that information you was giving me? I don't remember. But if you want some information, we charge $3,000, $3,500, $5,000 for this course, $3,500 for that course, $1,500 for that course, $1,800 for that course. And we got a sale going on right now where you can get a course for $300. But you can sign up for my email list for free. Because we run specials throughout the year. Last year we did 2 $27 giveaways. Well, we gave we gave $27 access to our $300 course. But when I was giving that same information for free, you didn't want to listen. Now all of a sudden that I'm successful, and I was trying to tell y'all how to be successful for free, now all of a sudden that I'm successful because I knew what I was doing. I knew where I was going. I knew I had the right information. It was just trial and error getting there. Now that I'm there, you want me to give it to you for free. It's gonna be very few people that I'm gonna do stuff for free for. And that's probably gonna be my wife and my kids. I can't help everybody in the family. I've tried to do that. I can't help all my friends. I've tried to do that. They cussing each other out back here.